Okay, welcome to the next video in the series Investing in US Residential Real Estate. In this video we're going to look at leverage, and effectively our focus is going to be essentially one key area, and it's this: is as we introduce leverage or indeed a mortgage into a deal, what effect does that have on our return on investment? And we're going to keep the numbers simple so that it's easier to see, because we're just trying to get a principle across here. And keep in mind, we're doing this block by block, or indeed video by video. So for some of the intermediate users out there, at the end of this video, you may have in the back of your mind, well, what about this or what about that? I promise you, we'll address all of your what about this, what about that in further videos. Essentially, we've got to build this layer by layer. That said, let's look at us buying ourselves a home, and effectively this home's going to cost $100,000 in terms of purchase price, and in terms of our financing, this is going to be an all cash deal. We're just going to buy this for cash. So we have 100% cash, i.e. $100,000 of our money to buy it, and we're not taking any mortgage from the bank. Now let's assume that the value of this home over a 12-month period increases by 5%. So effectively it's gone from 100 to 105,000. Question is this: what effect will this have on our return on investment? Well, let's look at that. Effectively, what we're seeing here is purchase price of 100,000. Our financing is costing, well, basically the way it's structured is 100% cash, or initial down payment is all cash, and we have no mortgage. The value of the home increases by 5% to 105,000, and our return on investment is essentially that increase in value, 5,000, divided by how much money we put in the deal, which was we bought it for cash, 100,000. So effectively, we've got a 5% return on investment purely by just capital appreciation. Okay, so let's look further. So now let's assume that we buy the same home. Again, it costs 100,000, but the financing is slightly different. Instead of putting all of our money into the deal, we decide to put 20% of our money into the deal. So $20,000 initial investment from ourselves, and we get the bank to give us a mortgage for 80% of the cost of the home, which is $80,000. Now again, the value of the home increases by 5%, so it's gone from 100 to 105,000. The question is this: what effect has that introduction of leverage or a mortgage into the deal, and what effect has that had on our return on investment? So let's look at it. Effectively, what we're looking at here is a purchase price of 100,000. Financing is different. We've now put 20,000 of our money into the deal and 80,000 of the bank's money, other people's money, and the value is increased by 5%. So it's gone from 100 to 105,000. So the return on investment has changed, because we still have that 5,000 increase in terms of capital appreciation, but we only put 20,000 of our money into the deal. So return on investment, given that we keep all of the increase in the value, the bank doesn't, is effectively 5,000 divided by our initial investment, 20,000, which is actually 25%. So essentially, by introducing leverage into the deal, we've taken our return and augmented or increased it by a factor of 5 times, 500% increase. Okay, just a couple of final points. I suppose firstly is for a number of the intermediate users out there, in the back of your mind, you may say, well, look, there's a cost to introduce leverage into the deal. Essentially, we got to pay a monthly mortgage every single month by actually introducing leverage. And that's a very valid point. Just keep in mind that we would only introduce leverage into a deal that we would look at or consider buying if that deal more than comfortably supported the cost of that leverage from its cash flow. So once we've taken care of operating costs and financing, we're still into a very healthy cash flow. But we'll look at that and address that in a lot more detail in terms of our cash flow video. Secondly, I suppose as an investor, you have a decision to make. Let's assume you have $100,000 to work with from an investing perspective. You can do one of two things. You can buy one home for $100,000 cash and end up making 5% return on your money in this instance. Or you could look at potentially buying 5 homes, assuming that the bank's comfortable lending the difference to you. Effectively, you do that by you would end up buying the home, one home here. You put 20% down, the bank will give you 80%, and you would end up doing that 5 times, because you've got $100,000 and you've got 5 times 20 is your $100,000 is used. Now, by doing that, just purely from a capital appreciation perspective, assuming a 5% increase in the value of the home, then you're looking at increasing your return on investment to 25%. That said, let's just briefly sum up here. Essentially, all we've said here is this: as you introduce leverage, or indeed a mortgage, into a deal, you improve your return on investment, and assuming your investment can comfortably support the cost of introducing that leverage, i.e. your monthly mortgage payments, then it's certainly something that you might consider. Okay, can I say thanks for taking the time to review this video. Please keep your eyes open for further videos over the next number of weeks. Look forward to talking with you in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.